Okay, welcome back to the second video of this third presentation on the Eucharist, and we're going to get into a bit of the philosophy of the Eucharist. Okay, so it helps to understand a little bit of the history of philosophy. We have Socrates, we have Plato, we have Aristotle. Socrates taught Plato, Plato taught Aristotle. Aristotle, by the way, his most famous student was Alexander the Great. So to give us a sense of time frame, we're talking about the year 500, maybe 450 BC to about the year 330 BC. Is when these four characters kind of lived, okay? The great project of Aristotle was to help us to conceive that there's a nature to all things. You know, he calls it the realm of ideas, okay? I'm going to use this. So this is a ring. It's made of gold. It's got a little kind of cross on it, like a Celtic cross. Okay, this is a ring. When I say ring, we all just immediately call to mind some ring, okay? Some of you are wearing wedding bands, their ring. They don't look like this, okay? I know some people some men in particular, who when they work with their hands. They actually wear a rubber wedding ring so that if they should suffer an injury and their finger starts to swell, it won't cut off their finger because of a metal that won't expand, you know, things like this. My brothers wear rings made of tungsten, and they're unadorned. They're just a tungsten band. I've got this gold ring with a cross on it. Some people have rings with jewelry on it. The point is that each of these rings look different, but when I say ring, we all conceive in our minds this idea of a ring. There's a nature to rings, okay? There's a nature to each kind of specific thing, okay? There are phones, okay? I don't know if you can see, but back here is the office telephone. It's got a receiver. It's plugged into the main base. The main base has its dial, okay? The light isn't flashing, so I don't have voicemails right now. That is one phone. Here's another phone. It's just a little cheapy guy. It's a flip phone. It's a cellular phone. Oh, and I do have text. I wonder who's calling me. Okay, so that's all right. And okay, good. No emergencies here. But this phone can text. It doesn't need a cord to power to a device, whereas that one does. But when I say phone, we think of something like this, and there's something about that phone and that phone that participates in phoneness, okay? This is the idea of phone, okay? There's a popular contemporary band called Imagine Dragons. If I say, let's all imagine dragons, okay? We think of something dragon-ness, okay? Our dragons may all look very different, but when I say dragon, we have an idea of what we mean. Okay. By the way, my dragon was the dragon that just now was the dragon from the book of Revelation. 7 heads, one of which is dead. It doesn't breathe fire. It's big and red. Okay. Some people think of like Puff the Magic Dragon. Some people think of Barney the dinosaur. He's a dinosaur, not a dragon, but okay. You know, whatever it is. But anyway, so this is Plato's contribution, that I think dragon, you think dragon. We both have an idea of dragon, and there's an idea of dragonness out there. Okay. So what a thing is, it's isness. We all have an idea of. Now, Plato had this idea that the true reality is in this realm of ideas. We're just some shadow, some participation in the real reality. Well, in point of fact, there's something true about that from a Christian perspective. You know, the reality here on earth is dark. It's kind of a shadow. The fullness of life, the fullness of reality, we'll hopefully get to enjoy in heaven. So Plato's philosophy does kind of speak truth to us of a Christian worldview, a Christian ethos. Let's consider Aristotle. Aristotle maintained that the reality is everything that's here on earth. Okay, Plato believed that reality is above, and Aristotle believed that reality is here on earth. There's a famous painting in the Vatican Museums. It's called the School of Athens, that features many philosophers, and in the center of which we got an old man, Aristotle, and he's pointing to heaven. And old man Plato pointing to heaven. Old man Aristotle kind of gesturing toward the earth. Reality is in heaven. No, reality is here on earth. Okay, so they're having this philosophical debate, teacher and student. In any event, Aristotle's great project that has been taken up to us by us Christians is the 10 categories of being. 10 categories of being. Everything that is has 10 categories to it, attached to it. The first is its substance. Again, what a thing is. What Plato might call the idea of that thing. What the thing is. The other 9 categories of being are accidents. There's substance and there's 9 accidents. these things, how they appear. Okay, so for example, this phone. This phone is black. This phone is a flip phone. This phone has a screen in these numbers here. Okay, it is not proper to phone that it be black. It is not proper to phone that it be a flip phone. It is not proper to phone that it has a dial, but it could have a touch screen like an iPhone. Those are accidents. That this phone is being held by me is an accident. Now I set it down on my desk. It is over there. That is an accident. Where a thing is another accident. Okay, this is actually important for Catholics in our Respect Life initiative. Okay, for example, let's consider Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler thought that Jews were not people, but that Germans were. Okay, that's basically what he thought. Jews were not people because they had a different background, and he placed them into a ghetto. And people who live in a ghetto, they're not really people. So, but we outside the ghetto, we are people, okay? So we can do what we want with them because they're not really people like you and me. We're outside the ghetto. Okay, so he's basically saying that the people's location, they happen to be inside the ghetto because he put them there, that somehow that takes away from their humanness. They are less than human now. We can exterminate them. In our sad American history of American slavery, okay, we thought the same thing. Well, I'm white, so I'm fully human, I'm free. Well, you're African American descent, so you're something less than human, so I can enslave you, okay? That's incorrect. A person's skin is accidental. It's not proper to humanness. If I have one less finger, I did not lose some sense of my humanity. I have poor vision. I need glasses. That doesn't make me less than human. I happen to be male. I could have been female. Females are not lesser than humans, and males are not less than humans. These are accidents, but what a human is, we are an image and likeness of God. That is our substance. That is the definition of human. Okay, these other things, important to us to be sure, but they don't define our humanness. They are attributes, but they are not definition. Okay, so taking this now to the Eucharist. The Eucharist, so we have the realm of ideas, what a thing is, and we have substance, what a thing is, we have accidents, what a thing looks like, smells like, where it is, when it is, in relation to what, and so on. Okay, so a thing can have its substance change while its accidents remain. Okay, how does something's substance change when its accidents remain? Well, we all know this. Think about the last time you've gone to a funeral, okay? We look in a casket. There's Grandma. Well, it's not Grandma. It looks like Grandma. She's wearing Grandma's favorite dress. She's wearing Grandma's glasses. Her hair is done like Grandma's. Okay, that looks like Grandma. That's wearing Grandma's clothes. Might even still smell like Grandma. I mean, who knows? But it's not Grandma. This is a dead body. Grandma-ness is gone now. Grandma has gone to heaven. We speak about our beloved ones. They pass away. Grandma's gone now. Grandma's gone to heaven. She's gone home. This is our prayer, right, for all our faithful departed, that they've gone home. So this is just her body. The accidents remain. Still looks like Grandma. Still smells like Grandma, presumably. If you take a chemical data analysis of a skin cell, it's got Grandma's DNA, but it's not Grandma, okay? Her substance has changed. Grandma-ness is gone. Corpse-ness is here, okay? So, I challenge the kids. I try not to use, kind of morbid imagery like that. But I talk about, every kid, in our school, for example, they've seen a dead bug, okay? They probably killed bugs, okay? Let's be honest, kids kill bugs, okay? Well, that looks like a dead bug. Well, is it a fly? Is that a grasshopper? I mean, it looks like it. It's got the chemical properties of grasshopper, but that's just a dead bug. Something that made its grasshopper-ness is gone, okay? So substance can change while the accidents remain. And the reverse is true too. Substance remains and accidents can change. Okay? For example, my substance remain even though the accidents change. Right now I'm wearing my collar. Well, by the way, here's like an insight into priestly life. This is not actually attached to my neck, and boom, just like that, my collar's off. I'm absent a collar. Well, my accidents have changed. My substance has remained. I'm still me. I'm still Father Louis. I'm still a priest. This has changed, and look, it's changing back. I'm putting it back on. Accidents changing all over the place. Okay, so the accidents are changing again, and the substance has remained. Okay, now let's turn to the Eucharist. This is what happens with the Eucharist. Okay, the substance has changed. Okay, what did I just say? The substance has. Oh, I give a bad example. My substance has remained. My accidents have changed when I took off the collar. So I should delete the last 2 minutes of this video. That's fallible. That's broken. Okay, so forget that. But substance change while the accidents remain. Okay, I mentioned that substance has changed while accidents remain. Grandma having gone to heaven. Okay, substance can remain while accidents change. Okay, I lost a finger. I took off my collar. Okay, so the point is we get this idea of change that's visible, change that not visible but happens nonetheless. Okay, grandma dying is an invisible change, but it's a change nonetheless. The Eucharist is an invisible change, but a change nonetheless. The substance has changed. What is the substance of bread? Okay, bread can be made of wheat. It can be made of oat. It can be made of barley. The grain from which that bread is made is not its substance. Okay, is it the fact that it's white bread, or that it's brown bread, or is it like a really marbled rye? Is it a really dark rye? Okay, the colors, the appearance is all different. So that's not the definition of bread. I guess what we can say is, that the substance of bread is its breadness. Okay, you can't even look at the chemical composition and say, bread. Because I'm going to look at this bread and its wheat, and this bread and its barley, and this bread and its oat. Okay, breadness. There's even potato breads. Okay, I like potato chips. I don't know if I like potato breads, but anyway, breadness. Okay, we just kind of, when I say bread, we kind of think bread. We kind of know bread, and we're going to think different breads, but we get an idea of what bread is. With the Eucharist, the accidents remain, but the substance changes. The breadness is gone, and the godness is there now. Okay, the substance has changed. This is like when Grandma died. Grandma is gone. A corpse is here. Grandma-ness is gone. Corpseness is what remains. The accidents are still here, but the substance has changed. And so it is with the Eucharist. The substance has changed. The accidents remain. If you take an unconsecrated host and a consecrated host, and you do an atomic particle anomaly, anomaly study to make sure that chemical compositions are in place. Like, yep, they're the same, and one and the other, they both taste like bread. They both look like bread, but we just know that one has changed substance, and it is no longer bread. It is God now. Breadness is gone. Godness is there. Okay, so in any event, this is the philosophy of the Eucharist. I hope this is as clear as mud. The great genius of the saints is that they've taken the Greek philosophers pre-Christian and have been able to see in that Greek philosophy a vocabulary that gives us an ability to express what we believe as a people of faith. St. Thomas Aquinas was really able to wed Platonic philosophy with Aristotle's philosophy in a way to describe our faith, in particular the Eucharist. So that's the conclusion now of our presentation on the Eucharist. We got one more presentation on the 4 P's. Please stay tuned, and God bless.